Welcome, my name's Sue from createwithsue.com, and today we are going to be making labels for various parcels. I've done mine for Easter eggs. However, you can make these labels any shape you want, and I'll show you how. We're going to use the trace feature, the single line font text feature, and cut them out and put them together. So I'm going to skip over the put the together bit. We'll concentrate on creating the labels, and you'll be able to do these yourself. Alright, I'll see you over at the screen on my computer. Okay, on the screen here you can see that there is two bunnies, a black one and a transparent one. So the black one is the image. It is one that I've got off of Pixabay, and I will show you what it is. It doesn't look like this on Pixabay. I'll show you how I've got it. So these are the images that I have sourced. That's a bigger view of it. So we could have used this one on the right, and we could have used this one just outlined, so it would have had a little crooked ear. And then we could use this three bunnies. I'm going to use the three bunnies, and I know it doesn't look anything like those three bunnies, the finished result, but you'll see how we'll get there in a moment. So you could choose any image you like. Just search for, easily to find is silhouettes, so that is the easiest. But others will image as well. So we're in the trace screen, and we have got the outline. So you can see the blue line is the outline, and it's got tails and all sorts in there, but that's okay, we won't worry about that. So we'll go okay. I'm going to transfer the image with the cut file as well, and you can see that one is called a shape and one is called image. The image will not cut. So it's on there just purely to help you continue your design process, and realistically it is not a great deal of use on its own, apart from seeing what your image wants to look like. So I'm just resizing both the cut and the image file, and they're grouped together at the moment. Slide the image, I've selected the image in the layers panel and just moved it out the way a bit. You can see it's quite separate to the cut file, and the cut file is called shape and the image is called image. I'm going to hide the image. I will actually end up deleting the image, but we'll just hide it for the moment. And we are going to adjust these bunnies so it's one bunny. And I'm going to do this by double clicking and selecting the nodes, and just dragging an imaginary box over part of the bunny and hitting the delete key, and that's removed all those nodes. And I'm just going to select these little random bits here, the same, hit the delete key, and same on the the left hand side. Select them all the bright blue ones are selected, so where they've changed to the aqua blue, that's selected, and we'll hit the delete key again. And it's left some funny bits. We'll just go carefully with this bit because we don't want to get any nodes missing that we need. And we've got some funny little corners here. We're going to fix them up. Now I just delete a couple more nodes and get it a little bit smoother. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see a little better. And back to the select tool, and these nodes move. We can move them around whichever way we want. That's a little handle that moves around, so I'm just going to adjust that handle to bring the curve back a little, and that's not too bad on that side. And I'm going to do the same on the other side, and just play with it until those handles do what you want them to do. The nodes will move, so I want that little hip shape in there, so I'm going to just recreate that because it didn't come across like that. So we'll just fiddle with that. This you can play with as much as you like until you're happy with it. I'll just stretch that one up there a little and out. And you can see I've got a little extra piece at the bottom here. So I'm just going to shorten that handle. It'll bring that back in. And I may need to add another node, so I might do that in a moment. Just slide this out and see if I can do it that way. No, I'm going to add a node. So I've selected that whole line there, which was highlighted blue, and added a node and just moved it out. And I'll just keep fiddling with this until I'm happy with the shape. And you can do that by moving the handles out and in and the node around. And you'll see that it's coming together. And I might speed this bit up a little bit in the editing so that you don't have to watch all my fiddling. Because I'll just fiddle around for a little while and just play with it. Okay, so I've got this next little piece. I don't want that as well. I'm going to put little fluffy tails on my rabbits. So this little piece I want gone as well. And just the same, I'm going to select all the nodes that I don't want and hit the delete key. And I don't want some of these, and I'll hit the delete key for those. And a few more. And you can see I've got a very long stretchy bit there. That's okay, we'll just reach out and slide over and bring it back up together. And just round, I want it a little bit rounder than what it is. It's coming rounder. And it's gone out a little bit. I'm going to just fiddle with this a little bit more, and I'll speed this up as well. If you do anything you don't like, just undo it. I didn't like I removed a node. I didn't like that node removed. So just undo that and have another look at a different node. So one node will make a difference to moving a different node. So just choose your nodes, and once you're happy with it, I'll just zoom out so you can see, whoops, too far. Scroll back in a bit. So I've done it quite big at the moment. I'm not going to have it this big. I'm going to shrink it down to more the shape and size of the one that we've got hidden, our original ones. And we will just grab a corner box, so corner handle. I might just delete our original shape too to get that out of our way. And that's our shape that we ended up with. The first shape I just deleted was the 3 bunnies. And we'll scroll this up to approximately the size we want. So I've got it in centimetres, about 45 centimetres. Millimetres, 45 millimetres down. The other one was 39 millimetres. And we will just change the dimensions a little bit. So what I'm going to do in a moment is I'm going to duplicate this shape and create multiples, because I want to do 10 of these shapes. 10 names. So we'll put the name on in a moment, and once I've got this about the right size, and I'll show you how to duplicate really quickly. That's about the same size. So that's how the first one was originally created. We'll just pop that over there, and we'll just move that there, and I'll go into the layers panel again and show you the original shape. So that's about what it was. It's very similar. We will hide that shape again, and I think we will delete that other bunny. We'll just delete that. Hide it or delete it. I'll delete it. Don't need that one anymore. So sometimes I will keep my original shapes just to keep track, but I will just delete that one in this instance. Okay, I've popped a circle on, gone into the shapes panel and popped a circle on, changed it down to 3 millimeters. It's about the size hole I want to put the ribbon through. I'm going to put like a stretchy string through, and pop it where you need it. And we're going to select both. Just get that about, we'll increase the size a little bit so you can see. I'm going to select both, and I'm going to subtract that draw your imaginary box, and we will go subtract. And there it goes. You can see the blue box around it has gone. Go up to duplicate and duplicate. And look at all those bunnies we have now. All of a sudden, filled the mat. Except that I don't need quite that many. So what I am going to do is to undo that and do it again. But I'm going to increase the size of this little rabbit here. Just a little bit, because I can fit a few more on than I thought I could. And about like that. So you can count your blocks up to see how many inches. I've got mine in inches for the mat. It matches the mat. So I usually leave it in inches. It will read as in the centimetres, but I work in inches for this bit. And duplicate again. And there's all our bunnies. And I'll just scroll down so you can see the bottom layer. There's 2 layers of bunnies. I'm going to take a 12 by 12 piece of card for this one. And I could scrunch them up a bit more, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave them just like that today. And I'm going to add some text. So Antique Oaklands is the default text, so that's a good one to start with. I'm just going to type in Matilda. You can see Antique Oakland there. And I'm going to twist it around. Now I don't think that's quite 90 degrees, so go into the edit panel and you can see the angle where my cursor is and change that to 0. You can also use the up and down sidebar to make it to the size or the angle that you want. Same with your sizing, you can use the little up and down arrows. I'm just going to use the handlebars to make the size the correct size for this. And I'm going to use a single line font. Now my single line fonts are from Single Line Font, the website that's named that, and they start with SLF. So if you install them, they start with SLF. So I'm going down to the SLF, and I have got a Bonbon, Industrial, Magnolia, Lily, and also I think it's Tuxedo. And that's Tuxedo there. I don't think I'm going to use Tuxedo today. I'm going to go back down and change. I might try Bonbon. I like Bonbon. I like all of them actually. So but I think I'm going to do Bonbon today. So we just pop it around about in the middle. I need to remember to leave enough room for a little bunny tail. I'm going to pop a little bunny tail on there. And I'm going to centre it and sort of eyeball what it looks like. I think that looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. And the text comes in as a cut file. So you actually need to go into the layers panel and change that to a draw file. So we have that as a draw file, and I'm going to go Control C and Control V. If you're on a Mac, it's Command, and highlight that in blue and re-type it. So I've got Jack now. So I'm going to go Control V again and then move the new version over. Double click so it goes like a blue colour. I'll just click that again. There we go. So it's got that blue shadow, and that will overwrite what's in the box. So it will overwrite the original Matilda, but use the same font and sizing and everything. So there's Jacob's. Just move that roughly to where I want it. And done it again, Control V. Because I've already got it in memory, Control V will work. Double click so until the blue box, blue shadow comes over it. Oops, I've spelt Charlie wrong. We will go again and type Charlie. Bring up the blue shadow and type Charlie. You'll notice you can't see what I'm typing. Now that is a disadvantage with the single line fonts, is that Canvas Workspace doesn't love them. You can use Font Lab and a few things like that are shown on the website. This is a bit of a hack on how to use it in Canvas Workspace. If you are in a bit of trouble, you can change it back to Oaklands, Antique Oaklands, and set it up that way, and then just flick them to the one you want. So I can still change this now. So there's Henry. So just so I wanted this in industrial, perhaps we'll go down to SLF industrial. SLF. Now there's industrial. And that's what it would look like in industrial. I really like that font too. So we'll just go back and back again. So I've got my Henry back there. And I'm going to go down and put the rest of the names in. I'll speed some parts of this up because it's a bit like watching paint dry once you've seen it, isn't it? So double click so the blue shows, and I'm going to type Harrison this time and center it. Now, if you happen to, I'll just find Harrison, there it is. If you happen to be in cut still and you do them all in cut by mistake, I'll just do the next one, we'll do Elliot's next. So I'm in cut now, so the next one we'll do it in cut because I've copied and pasted one that's only in cut. So there's Elliot. So you can see on the right there that Elliot and Harrison are both in cut. You can just flick them to draw still. You're not stuck with them. And then just continue on your way, and I will speed this up a little bit. Okay, so once you've got them there, I'm going to center each one, so down to the center, and group. Control G is group. So you could change screens and do it up in the panels. However, it's much quicker to just use your keystrokes and go center and Control G, center and Control G, center and Control G, and center and Control G. Okay. So you can see all the groups there on the right hand side in the layers panel. You can close them up. You can also name them so they're a little bit clearer to what they are, and looks like I have not Control G the Matilda, so we'll just select both pieces and go Control G, and now that one's grouped as well. Now I want this to cut a little bit differently. I'm going to hide the two spare ones. So there's 3 hidden on the right. You'll get an error message. I'm just going to grab that group, and you could go up to the layers panel and go arrange and bring to the front, and that's up the top there now. Just drop that down. You can see that's Matilda up the top there, and so we could do it that way, but it's much quicker you can do all the changing there as well. Still, you can edit it right up until you send it to the machine and cut. But you can just drag and drop. So that will be the next one that's would have cut, and I'm going to put that up to the top. Then the next one up to the, so it follows. And now I'm starting to guess a little bit where I've edged it. So if you named them, you wouldn't have to guess so much. But I'm not that fussed if it cuts it a little bit out of sequence. Not a big deal. So it's just an easy way to pop them around the mat so you have your cutting order fairly well in uniform. Doesn't matter too much. I plan to do the draw first and then I'll cut. It's much better to draw first. So send it over to machine, file, and export. You get the warning to say that one's hidden. I was going to show you the hidden, but you did see that. Won't let me show you with the message there. Export FCM to your machine. I'll see you at the machine. Okay, I'm at the machine. We're going to retrieve the data. Just go retrieve, and I'll send it over via Wi-Fi. If you've sent it over via USB, it would be here. If it's stored in your machine, it'll be here. And if it is connected via cable to your computer, it will be this one. But I've done it via the cloud or Wi-Fi. And we'll retrieve the pattern. And there it is. Now I'm not going to edit it all. If I had a small piece of card and not a full sheet, I would potentially scan the card and make sure everything fit, but I'm just going to cut it on a big piece of card. So we are going to go, okay. And I want to do the draw first. So I'm going to select draw, and you'll only see the drawer. So we'll send that through. Oh, I haven't got the holder in, so just give me 2 seconds. So I am going to use my universal holder for this, and I have a Cricut pen, black Cricut pen that I'll use. I've got a little bit of tape just to give it a bit more pressure so it holds a bit firmer. So I'll go off and do that, and I'll be back in a moment. So once you've drawn your wording, we'll go, okay, and we're going to go and select cut, and we will press start and we'll cut the rest out. And I'll see you in a minute. Once you've cut it, just take the labels off your mat, give it a slight bend, they'll sort of pop up and you can just lift them off. And we're going to stick the little bunny tails on next, so just sorting them out. And I've got blue ones, orange ones, green ones, and some pink ones, so they've all got a little bit different colour. And I'm using art glitter glue to glue the bunny tails on, and you can use any glue that you choose really. I just rather like this one. It's got a fine point, so if you need to use a fine point for anything, this one's great. With the pom-poms, doesn't really matter if it's a fine point or not. And once they're dry, you can then find some ribbon, or I use stretchy string, a silvery string. I'll show you that in a moment. And wrap the little eggs up in cellophane and put your bow on and your label, and you're done. And you can do this with any type of present, Christmas presents, with Christmas trees, any presents that you want to do at all. There's our little bunny. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. See ya!